earlier, possibly, huh?
It's either that or else Kyle has decided that he doesn't want to show his hand on the banking to the 17 of Herfoss. Those are the two things that I think of right now. Although Troy Herfoss, good run for the 17.
Yeah, really good. Now let's see if Kyle, as they get into these top gears, if that Harley can start to pull back. Let's remember, Greg, we got about 1.5 laps, a little under 1.5 laps to go in this race. And look at the lead. Hayden Gillum, this has just been an absolutely perfect race for the 69. A great start, a great first lap. Gets away early, puts down a 49.7 right off the bat. And when you look at the best lap to best lap, the next best is Troy Herfoss at a 51 flat, 1.3 seconds quicker.
Wow, pretty incredible by the 69 out front. The battle on the right part of your screen is for second and third. It's Troy Herfoss, Kyle Wyman, and Bradley Smith just can't make it up as the white flag flies on this one. Final lap of race number 1, Mission King of the Baggers for the 2026 season. Kyle Wyman behind the 17. Now Kyle understands what he has underneath him, and if he's got room to strike, he's going to do it at least halfway through this lap. No reason to go to the front right now and make yourself vulnerable for a draft and pass. The thing that Kyle might not know is that his teammate is right on his tailpipe.
Now, if you look to the right of your shoulder and sees that his teammate is right there. So for Kyle now I'm going to go back to 3 years ago when Kyle and Troy were going down into the chicane, and Troy had to learn a little bit about what Daytona was all about. Let's see how this plays out between the two factory Harleys and Troy Herfoss on that factory Vance and Hines Indian Challengers. They're going to come out. Bradley Smith has closed that gap, Greg. When they came across the line, he was some 8/10 behind. So just in this, he's done a great job getting through that first split, and now he's going to get the effect of a double draft.
In a 14-race championship, points always matter. There goes Kyle Wyman. Down the banking he goes. Does the Harley-Davidson have enough on the top end? Not that time. All the while, on the left part of your screen, looking for 25 points in the first win of the season is Hayden Gillum on the 69. Eyes on the right part of the screen. The battle for the final 2 spots on the podium. Hayden Gillum on the banking as Troy Herfoss gets a great drive.
And Kyle spun up pretty bad out of there. That's going to make him susceptible to his teammate coming by as Hayden Gillum's coming to the line.
Here we go, Hayden Gillum, first race of 2026. First race on the JP Cycles Moto Vance and Hines Factory Harley Indian Challenger with the big win. And here comes Troy Herfoss. He's got no one in his draft. And J&P Cycles Moto Vance and Hines Factory Indian goes 1-2 in their first race as a team in Moto America. Kyle Wyman will stand on the podium in third place as the lone Harley Davidson. What a race for the 69. Jason, you called it, the only rider to do a lap time in the 49s and the 150s. Well, Bradley Smith was able to do a 150.5 back in 4th place. But for Hayden Gillum, a 149.7. What an eye-opener for the rest of this field, as now this incredibly talented racer has got a weapon in his hands. First salvo fired in the Mission King of the Baggers season in 2026. When we return, we're going to talk to the Kentucky native about how he got that one done.
coverage is brought to you by Mission Foods, the world's leading brand for tortillas and wraps. By Dunlop, the official tire of the Moto America Championship Series. By Drag Specialties, an industry-leading distributor of aftermarket parts and accessories for Harley-Davidson Indian and custom V-twin motorcycles. And by NXT Bets. Play Moto America for cash. Mission King of the Baggers is live on top sportsbook and DFS platforms.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. Mission King of the Baggers, race number 1 for round 1 of the season is in the books. And listen, JP, it might have been an 8.2 second margin of victory for Hayden Gillum, but there's a lot to talk about here because here he is on top of the box. Beat his teammate Troy Herfoss, Kyle Wyman, and Bradley Smith right there, all covered by half a second. And then James Rispoli in 5th with Tyler O'Hara, Jake Lewis, Corey West, Max Flinders, and unfortunately for Kyle Onsor, the DNF. Wow. So, what do you think about Hayden Gillum's big victory, JP?
Well, I think this was on the card. Yesterday when I saw Troy Herfoss, he basically told me Hayden Gillum's going to be a problem. And so far, he's pretty right on that. That lap, that 49.7 was really impressive. I think what's more impressive, though, Greg, is he was just able to just continue to pull away like he was and leave that battle for second to challenge on their own.
Well, Hannah's with our third place finisher, Kyle Wyman.
Third today for the defending champ. A heck of a launch off that start. Take us through what you were kind of feeling underneath you. We could see the bike maybe moving around a bit here and there. Were you kind of holding back to not show your hand at the end, or were you leaving it all out there?
Definitely was leaving it all out there. There was that part of the race where Troy made a mistake and I got around him, and I was really trying to build a gap, and I completely screwed that up. I just made a mistake going into that international horseshoe, and I think I could have been second today, but yeah, Hayden was gone before I even knew where he went. So we got to do some work and see if we can get a little more infield pace for the afternoon in these hot conditions. But Harley-Davidson Dynojet factory team has given me a great bike this weekend. I think I've been the one to put us on the back foot. So let's see if we can do some more tomorrow.
So Kyle Wyman on the high banking, talking about the infield for him, JP.
Yeah, and you know, he was pushing so hard. You could see how hard he was pushing. The bankings here, Greg, you can get towed around those, but you got to get through the infield well, and he knew that. He was pushing a little hard, made a small mistake, as did Troy Herfoss that time too.
Here's Hannah.
Troy Herfoss second place today, and Kyle Wyman kept you honest throughout that one. A lot of back and forth with him.
Yeah.
Take us through the strategy there, because I know the last 2 years here, you left here saying, I feel like I have some studying to do or some homework to do. Do you finally have Daytona figured out?
Look, I've got an incredible engine underneath me. This Indian Challenger is, look, it's fast. The only reason I'm finishing in second place today is because that engine took me to the line. And luckily for all you Indian Challenger supporters, Hayden Gillum was out there showing what it can actually do on the corners. Unsure what he was able to do there, but so happy for the whole team. We've got some great partners this year. I want to thank JP Cycles, Vance and Hines, and Motor Oil. I want to thank, aside from that, I want to just thank the team for sort of bringing me in. They don't know me yet, and they've done such a good job to make me comfortable. And I just keep asking questions, and it'll stop. I'm looking forward to having a beer with you guys on Sunday, because after a couple of beers, everyone knows each other better.
Pretty incredible what Troy Herfoss has been able to do, and obviously Terry Vance, when he took over the program just a few months ago, he had a big smile on his face when he knew Troy Herfoss was going to be in his stable of riders. But let's get back down to Hannah, who has our winner.
Hayden, earlier today you told me you're never usually too excited coming into Daytona. I'm sure you're feeling pretty differently right now. Tell us about that win.
Man, that was something special. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. I had no idea I was by myself. So the whole time pushing, we're just waiting for those guys to come by me, because I know they were going to be fast enough to be there. But man, this whole JMP Cycles, Motul, Vance Hines Factory Indian is awesome. I'm having a blast, and man, what a way to start with a Mission Challenge win, and then the first place in Daytona. This is my first win at Daytona, so I'm pumped.
Yeah, and Hayden Gillam's not the only one pumped. Of course, this is the first factory Indian effort for Terry Vance and the Vance and Hines team. And we know that new Indian Motorcycle CEO Mike Kennedy in attendance, and he is definitely going to be smiling right now. So we got the Daytona 200 tomorrow as we look at the 2026 Moto America schedule. Jason, then we go to Road Atlanta. And that's when we're going to introduce superbikes into the whole mix. Then we're going to have Barber Motorsports Park by Road America, May 29th, 31st, one of our favorites. And then the Ridge to WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, then to your favorite place in the world, Mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
Then to VIR, to Circuit of the Americas, and we wrap things up at New Jersey Motorsports Park, September 25th through the 27th. You definitely got to get your tickets. Come on out and enjoy this. Well, we certainly hope you enjoyed our first Mission King of the Baggers race of 2026 right here on Samsung TV Plus. And we certainly appreciate you tuning in to Samsung Television Network. We get to do it again tomorrow. For Jason and Hannah, I'm Greg. We'll see you for race 2 of Mission King of the Baggers. Time for the Moto America AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship, our first round of 7 for 2026 for Mission King of the Baggers on an 84th running of the Daytona 200 weekend from Daytona International Speedway to kick off the season. And we're ready for race number 2, and so are these motorcycle road racers. Welcome, everyone, to Daytona Beach, Florida, and welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, staying alongside two-time national champ Jason Pridmore. Now, Jason, yesterday we thought things were going to be super tight, but it ended up that newly minted factory Indian racer Hayden Gillam, he checked out.
Yeah, and what a start for that whole team this year. They get that Indian Challenger up to speed. Hayden Gillam checked out. Herfoss and Kyle Wyman in defeat in the winner's circle. We're saying how well Hayden rode. He just checked out on everybody.
Let's take a look at race 1 highlights. Jason, talk us through them.
You're going to see Kyle Wyman spin that Harley Davidson off the line. He would get the whole shot, Greg. It was going to be a couple of mistakes from Kyle Wyman that were going to cost him and make him end up finishing third. As you see these Indian Challengers drafting and redrafting each other, this was the move for the lead very early on lap 1. Gillam goes around the outside of Kyle Wyman down into turn 1. As you see Herfoss slide his way under Wyman. These two would go back and forth. Rocco Landers and Bradley Smith would join this battle. However, Rocco would fall out. Bradley would eventually finish 4th. But it was all about Hayden Gillam, Greg, checking out on this race.
16 years racing at Daytona and Hayden Gillam's first victory here. Now, how do we score points in Moto America? Just like this, 25 for a win, 20 for second, 16 for third. So after race number 1, it's all clean, it's all tidy. But at the end of this season, the 14 races, whoever has the most points is the national champion. Well, we have a race on deck, and when the red lights go out, we're getting after race number 2 for Mission King of the Baggers. So hang tight.